What up, boys? King K here. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin USD. I'm going to give you my take on what I'm seeing, what I'm looking for, potential areas for pullbacks, or if we have a continuation of a breakout. So I'm going to just dissect a couple things here for you guys today. Going to keep the video short and sweet. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know there's a lot of talking about crypto around the table for Thanksgiving. You guys are crushing that turkey. So we have all-time highs locking in here at 99,000. We're still trying to break the $100,000 mark. 99,800. We're trying to break that $100,000 mark. That psychological a level where we haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're pushing up to those levels. So what I'm seeing here is that this was a little bit of a red day on the Monday, boys. This Monday red day left a displacement here, okay, which I like to call a fair value gap, right? So this is displacement area, okay? The ICT boys call it a fair value gap. You call it three white cylinders, whatever you want to call it, okay? Boom. So this is what we're looking at, okay? And let me change that over as well. So price moved down. It created a low here, okay? So this is a swing low, okay, like that. Boom. All right. And now we have price going back up. So we're still remaining bullish. We got a higher low in place. Okay, so this is still a bullish move. We did not take any lows out. Okay, but we are creating liquidity pools within these levels. So here and here, right? So this is area where we have liquidity resting. So everyone who is going long at the moment, or most people who are like trading this and they're leveraging, most likely they're placing their stop loss around these levels. So we have stops placed around 90,700. We got stops placed around the 88,700s as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind because keep that in mind because what's going to happen? Its price is very likely to pull down to these levels and to stop these guys out before making a significant move up higher. Okay, that's when we're looking at price action. So we have all-time highs here. We had a Monday was a red day displacement. This displacement level quickly got taken out and we closed above, right? So you can see how we closed above this displacement area, okay? So now this fair value gap, it becomes inverted, okay? So this is an inverted fair value gap at this time. So what this means is that we're going to be finding support off this inversion, okay? So candle close above, we retest it, come back, body closure here, and now we quickly moved away. So this is showing that there's still bullish momentum to the upside, okay? So our next target would be here, okay? This is our next target area, okay? So if we're going long, we want to take profits as we're taking off the all-time highs, okay? Now, the reason why I'm looking at this as a target area is I want to bring it, take a step back to the weekly candles here for a moment, okay? On the weekly candle, so the weekly chart, we want to take a look at and see how high price can go if we are at max extensions of the range, okay? So a good rule of thumb is that when you're trading and you're trading a breakout, okay, ideally you just want to capture a one-to-one move of the range, okay? So this is the Fibonacci retracement. I have some templates that are saved for like an extension. So this would be like a one-to-one move. So this is measuring top to bottom of the range. I just want to duplicate it to the upside. So if we just draw that over, okay, like so, we can actually take a look and see where we're at. Okay, I'm just gonna remove this for now. So the weekly candle, right? This is the extension for a one-to-one move. It actually it went above, right? So there are a lot of people who were exiting the market here, taking their profits off of this 2.0, okay, the extension, and the market had a pullback last week. Now, if you're wondering why that market pulled back, it's most likely because of that extension zone, that one-to-one move, okay? So we had that retracement down. And as we're finding support, we're creating higher lows, showing a market structure to the upside, still bullish because we haven't taken out a swing low yet for displacement to the downside, okay? We still have the ability to move and run higher. So if this weekly candle closes strong and it closes above 98.50s, Okay, then we can see continuation to the upside to take out the all-time highs and continue running for price discovery. Okay, so I would like to see this weekly candle close above. We have a day and 9 hours to get this done. And if it does that, that would be amazing. If not, we can expect price to pull back down. So if this weekly candle, right, closes and we had rejected 50% of this wick, which it looks like we've done so. I'm just going to switch my template over to the 50%. So this is 50% of this wick. That means the weekly chart for next week is going to be bearish. Okay. So when this candle closes in 1 hour, if it closes below the 50%, that means we're going to be bearish. If it closes above the 50%, that means next week is going to be bullish. Simple as that. Okay, simple as that. And how low can we go? We're going to be looking for points of liquidity to the downside. So what I like to do is to draw my fibs, and I want to be buying at a discounted range. I don't want to get in too early on these moves. I like to be safe rather than sorry. I like to get the most R's as possible for profitability purposes, right? So if I miss a trade, it's totally okay. And I want to buy below the 50% of this area, right? So this is the extension levels from 0 to 50. If I just do like the default setting here, okay, apply defaults, we're pretty much looking to get in anywhere around like the 618 area. Okay, anything below the 50 is fantastic, right? Because you're buying at a discount. You want to make sure you're buying things at a 50% off rather than buying it at a premium. You know what I mean? So discount areas under the 50% would be ideal. 618 would be awesome. So what I'm going to be drawing out is this fair value gap here, okay, on the weekly chart. And I'll be looking for something similar on the daily chart. Okay, so where do we see fair value gaps within the zone on the daily chart? We see one here. Okay, this would be a pretty deep retracement. And we can switch this over to, let's say, blue. Okay, and we see one here as well. So if you guys missed the move and you're a bit hesitant about Bitcoin, where can we return to? Where would be a good buying opportunity? I would say it'll be around these levels. Okay, we'll draw the fib again. So 50% is here. We got the 618 here. Okay, and then we have a little bit deeper retracement down here. So I would like to see this fair value gap hold. Okay, I'd like to see price come in, wick this fair value gap, close within this daily fair value gap here. Okay, and then move to the upside. This is what ideally I would like to see. So I'll be setting an alert here for Bitcoin. I'll be setting an alert here for Bitcoin as well to watch price action. And I'll be looking to pull the trigger and buying opportunities below the 50% retracement levels. Okay, so short, sweet, and simple. Okay, so in today's video, just recapping what we looked at. We looked at the extension. Bitcoin has performed a move to the upside where it duplicated the range, okay, of the past 8 months. This was done within 1 month, which is nuts. So a lot of bullish momentum here. Okay. Depending on how the weekly candle closes, if the wick is above the 50%, we're bullish for next week. If it's below the 50%, then we're going to be bearish. Okay. And if we are bearish, which it seems like that's likely or what could be happening now, right? I would wait and not pull the trigger on anything yet. Wait for the weekly candle to close. Okay. We wait for the weekly candle to close. It gives us a better idea of what's going to happen next. Is that fair? So wait 1 day. If the weekly candle closes above the 50% of this wick here, okay, right, then we have an idea that we were going to be bullish. As we rejected it right now, we had some bearish momentum to the downside. It quickly got bought up, but let's see how the weekly candle closes. I think that would be a good idea. Because if that weekly candle closes bearish, then we can see retracements to the downside as there's liquidity resting below. Okay, and what I mean by that, the market creates and generates liquidity. Okay, so here is the swing low, boom. So there's stop orders here. Okay, here's a swing low here. And here is the displacement for the fair value gap, where there is also liquidity resting within these zones. Okay, so what I like to see is price essentially retrace down into these daily fair value gaps and quickly bounce back to take out the highs. Now, it's just not going to come down and crash down, but the market is a bit volatile. So we might see something like this, where we have a little bit of wave pattern to the downside, like so. And then we can have like the extension to the upside where we might get a very bullish move to take out the highs. So that's essentially what I think what could happen with Bitcoin, right? So we have, if we see some sort of retracement, there's going to be a lot of money that's flowing into the market to kind of pick price up at a better at a discount essentially before the market continues. And what Bitcoin is essentially doing is it's just generating and creating that liquidity that we need before we continue to the next leg push up higher. This can continue running at the end of the day, but logically speaking, where we would like to get in, guys, is under the 50%. So thank you so much for tuning in. My name is King K. If you want to come chat with me and hang out, take a look at the Discord below. And if you want to support the channel, feel free to join the Patreon. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to take those questions in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.